This needs to stop. Okay, of course, this is only one person's opinion. Welcome, unicorns. If you want to hear my take on the horrible degeneration of dating in America, or if you want to challenge my opinion, keep watching. Since we're talking about watching movies today, my look is inspired by a Pride look that Nikki Tutorials did. And it was inspired by someone else whose name I really don't know, but she credits it in her video, which I will link in the description box. It's also inspired by 50 Shades Darker. Not that I'm a big fan of the movie, but in the poster she wears a lace mask. So I'm going to do a 50 Shades of Grey, kind of 50 Shades Darker, shimmery, silvery look using this lace mask. Alright, so let's get started. So let me say that at the end of the day, if you're a big proponent of the Netflix and chill phenomenon, you do you, boo. If all you want is a weekly boink, then by all means carry on, Captain. If you want more, or maybe you haven't even decided yet what you want, then let's talk about it. But first, let's take a moment, if we can, to reflect on what dating used to be. Once upon a time, it was opening car doors, nights out at the movies, or going to fancy restaurants. It was long conversations where you actually got to know one another. They put in the work. There was romance, wooing. They actually showed interest in us. Now, some of you may be able to remember dating that way, but several of you won't. But that essentially sums up what dating was. Then the feminist movement started in the 60s, gaining momentum in the 70s with Gloria Steinem when she worked for the New York Magazine. She even went undercover as a Playboy bunny in one of the Playboy clubs. For the first time, it was acceptable for women to be the sexual aggressor. We could be in charge of our own power and satisfaction. Feminism was a gateway not only to workplace equality, but sexual equality. As always, I'll link the products in the description box, or I'll post the products in the description box, but I'm using my Jeffree Star, very unfortunately named Cremated palette, but it is a great source of blacks, grays, and silvers, which is what we are predominantly doing today. So we're going to start with a kind of lighter gray. I'm going to start with Embalmed, which is this one right here, upside down, but this one. Now, I have always considered myself a feminist, and I am far, far from a prude. But as dating evolved with the introduction of online dating sites, feminism started taking a very sad, sad turn. We were so hungry for equality that we didn't think about the long-term ramifications and effects. Now, some of us don't care what men think. Some of us still wanted to settle down. There was compromise that needed to be made. Alright, going into Wednesday. So let's fast forward 50 years, and women's lib has somehow deteriorated to Netflix and chill. But is this relatively recent decline in the dating construct really what we were striving for? Is it just watching some TV and riding the hobby horse once or twice a week? Was that all our mothers were fighting for? So let me be clear, I am in no way opposed to online dating. I know several people who met online and lived happily ever after. I myself have met boyfriends online. It was innovative and maybe a little bit weird and a little bit odd at first, but Now, especially since the pandemic, it became the preferred method for meeting people. The old-fashioned ways just didn't work anymore. Now there are more partner options than ever before. But is hookup culture really a good thing? Let's segue to hear what my husband Ryan has to say about the subject.
All right, unicorns. So I am here to provide you with, excuse my French, the long, hard dick of reality when it comes to this dating situation. So, facts. When it comes to hookup apps like Tinder, Hitch, Bumble, etc., you've got 80% of women interacting, swiping, and let's face it, with probably sleeping with 20% of men. I'm going to say that again. 80% of women with 20% of men. Then you've got another 20% of women that are with another 20% of men. Okay, and they're matching up. And then you've got 60% of men online dating out there doing profiles that get no matches, no attention, nothing. So this has led to basically what we call female hypergamy. That is 80% of women sleeping with 20% of men, etc. I'll leave it to Mickey to decide how she feels about all that. But let me just explain how this has affected men a little bit. So you have what we call blue pill men. And those are basically your average frustrated guy online who gets, again, no attention and doesn't know what to do about it. And just continually frustrated, lather, rinse, repeat. Then we've got your red pill, that's called. And that means this can be anything from pickup artists to men's rights advocates to just general male self-improvement people. I would consider myself maybe more of a red pill. Red pill means you acknowledge this tough dating reality and you're committed to maximizing your profile, looks maxing, improving your looks as much as possible, learning some game, learning how to talk to women, learning how to go on a first date. Basically putting in the effort to overcome the fact that you don't have a Lambo and a six-pack and fly to Dubai every other weekend. I think the red pill's generally a good thing, although there's some people that can say maybe it gets into misogyny every once in a while. I get it. And then you have these sad little trolls called the black pill. Women, most of you don't even realize this is a thing. This is called men who are so disillusioned with the online dating process that they are basically swearing off women altogether. They are convinced that they're all whores, they're all sluts, they're all chasing this, they're all chasing that. And as a result, they decide to make men going their own way. It's a thing. Megto, men going their own way. These are guys who just sit in their basement all day on Reddit and type about how awful all women are, and in some cases are part of what are called incel communities, which stands for involuntarily celibate, meaning it's their destiny in life that they're going to be celibate. And there have been even instances of violence that have occurred from these incels lashing out at society because women won't date them. Now, I happen to think that this is a rather pathetic mindset. I mean, you could go red pill and learn some game, but these men have convinced themselves, whatever, that they are too short, too ugly, yada, 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 and there's no hope for them. So yeah, welcome to online dating. Now that we know of the lay of the land, I'm going to give you back to Mickey for her perspective on the whole thing.
All right, so let me lay it out for you. Now, if this sounds familiar, no judgment. Your bae comes over to your place on a typical Tuesday night. You settle in. He suggests that you watch a movie on a streaming service that you're probably paying for. You watch a little movie or TV, and then it's boinkity boink boink bye. Or if you're lucky and you're the Saturday night girl, then he stays the whole night. Woohoo, you've made number one in the rotation. But if you guys think that you are unique or not sharing him with other women, you are kidding yourselves. But the question is, what do we gain here? If you leave these exchanges feeling energized, rejuvenated, and content, then more power to you. But many times, many other women leave these exchanges feeling dissatisfied, used, or just wondering, WTF just happened. Let's make that realization even worse. If 80% of us are clamoring after the same 20% of men on the market, then we are leaving ourselves open to be the occasional side chick and not the apple of his eye. Okay, I'm going to do my liner and lashes off camera. We'll come back, we'll wrap up while I do my lips, and then we'll go for the big reveal and see how it came out. Keep watching. Okay, it's time for the big reveal. What do you think? What do you think? Oh yes. I am obsessed with this look. I absolutely love it. Anyway, there you have it. My 50 Shades Darker inspired, Nikki Tutorials inspired look. And my take on the whole Netflix and chill movement, I guess, if you will. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments. I know not everybody may agree with my opinions, but if you disagree, let's talk about it. Let's hash it out to find out when I drop content. And please leave a comment. I really want to hear from you. Until next time, stay magical.